Hello, Henry here. Welcome back to another round of tier listing with Soul. And of course, as is usual right now, after finishing a run, I'm going to talk about my opinion on the different units of the crew we played with. And the last one we did now were the undead. And the undead were a bit different from the rest as they cannot crumble. Yeah, they will crumble instead of failing discipline tests. That's the main big difference here. And so Banner of Valor is no use here as it doesn't help you. Instead of running, they will stay and they will just crumble. That's the main difference. So the name of the game here is holding out for as long as you can, and I think the hammer and anvil tactic is the thing here. So you need a troop that holds the enemy, and then you need something quick from the side and the back that just punishes it for being stuck with one of your troops. Yeah, as per usual, we begin with the heroes. So the three heroes you got with the undead nation or dead nation there are three of them. There is a White Lord, there's a Vampire Knight, and there's a Necro. The difference being that the Lord is the baseline. The White Lord is a melee character with hand weapon and shield, so it gives you +1 attack and a charge power. And he has unholy vigor, so he can make the undead quicker as well. That's something everyone has from them, and he has a special for himself, and that special is wait a minute, Eternal Rain. Now that's the name for it, and it reduces crumble by 1, and which means if his troops lose, you have a chance of not losing anything or maximum 2 wounds or units. And the best part for him is he restores all lost wounds at the end of the turn. That is insanely good. On paper, insanely good, as this gives you the possibility to just fight and fight and fight on and never lose this guy if you don't get hit by too many attacks. I will put him down as a baseline. He starts with Skeleton Warriors. They also have hand weapons and shields. They are the base of the skeleton crew or skeleton melees. So if you see here, down here, you already see them. The skeleton warriors are the main. Then the next one we have is the Vampire Knight, and the Vampire Knight has also hand weapons and shields. He has heavy armor, and the heavy armor gives you a bit of a movement decrease, but +1 defense. And she gets also Unholy Vigor, and in starting she gets Shadow Bolt. So a 3-use hit on enemies on range 18. That's what she gets, and she is starting with something different. She is starting with the horses, the skeleton knights. So these ones down here, the skelly knights, that's the one we are playing, or you are playing with in the beginning. You get 4 or 5 of them, so you get stronger crew in the beginning. Cavalry, that's very nice if you start with something like monsters and stuff. I would say because she has some kind of Shadow Bolt and she's inclined to have hexes or other stuff, I would put her above the Lord on her own. But I think the Lord has the better staying power to the Skelly Knights, and it's my opinion, it's a choice for you between, do you want to play slower with a group of monsters of skeletons, or do you want to play with cavalry riders and 4 of them in the beginning? Or if you're not playing challenge, I mean probably more, but you will not regenerate quicker. So if you lose some of them, you are not in trouble, but it's gonna hurt. The first fights probably won't be an issue, but once you hit the enemies with more enemies than you or more troops than you, you could be in trouble with this one, as the skeleton knights are not the be all end all if you compare it to the sword to the sword warriors. So it's a better skill, it's a better defense on one, that's double wounded, and a double attack on, but only 5 units, so 10 attacks, and this one has 15 units in the start or beginning, or 13, I think. So the difference is your choice, I would say. I would rate the Knight a bit higher than the White Lord, as the single target unit crumble reduction and regeneration is nice, but I think the spells keep the Knight above the other one. And then, of course, you can probably guess which one is my favorite. It's the one I used the most. It's the Necromancer, and she starts with skeleton and spears, and we'll come to the difference between warriors and spears. And I think she is by far the one that is carrying a game for you in this undead play. The undead are very slow, in my opinion, or yeah, you have to fight very long. You are not really the quickest unless you go for a full monster run. And I think overall, I would rate the undead rather low on the power scale. The only thing keeping them in the game is their possibility to stay and fight instead of breaking, and that also makes your troops rather, yeah, well, weak. So she is the one I would put as an S tier. If you start with her, you already get a nice little raise dead ability, which is a necro ability where you can raise up to 2d3 plus extra. No, you start with 1d3 plus 3 to raise, and that goes for skeleton warriors, spears, bowmen, and I think zombies. Those 4, and you can just res your units not above the cap with which you started. So if you go in with 13 spears, you only come out with 13 spears if you go above that number, but you can go above the limit. So I had during the run, I had something like, what was it, 37 or 40 spears. Once I had double the raise cap, that's really nice. Or if you, when I got 2d3 plus 3, and so the maximum you can get is 9 in a round, that really keeps you in the game. And of course, she has the hex, and the hex is the one that's gonna help you out. She also starts with spears, and we're gonna come to the swords and spears, but I think her spears are better than the swords. Okay, that's the thing for the main guys, for the leaders. Now let's come to the melee stuff, or, well, the foot soldier melee stuff. Let's begin with the zombies, or better yet, let's begin with the warriors. That's the baseline. Just put them right here. They are the baseline. They've got 2 skill, 3 power, 2 defense, 1 attack, 1 wound, and 10 discipline. But discipline doesn't matter for the undead. I don't know why they have discipline. All of them have 10, in fact. It's the first time I see that. But they don't need discipline. So you only care about these numbers. And with a hand weapon and shield, they get a power bonus +1 for the first charge if they charge, and they get the +1 for the hand weapon. The problem is you probably won't charge as often, as these are the ones you're gonna use to push into any high value targets. You want them to be your anvil. They are here to be pushed into any heavy big unit that needs to be cut down or needs to be stopped. For example, in my last fight, if you've seen it, the Act 3 end fight, I used them to push them, or someone, skeleton spears, to push them into raptor riders, a whole bunch of them, and they couldn't get away, and they slowly whittled down and died, and my warriors with a bit of rezzing help, or my spearmen with a bit of help, kept them in the game, and then we just finished them off. So these are your anvil. You need everything else, like cavalry, to get the enemy out, and these are your anvil. They are weak with their stats. They won't hit as much. They're gonna get hit very hard by enemies, especially ones that have a lot of power. So be prepared to lose some of them, but again, they don't break. Which brings us to the zombies, and you can see the difference between the zombies and the skeleton warriors is that they are unarmed, so they don't have a weapon, and they are in fact just unarmed attacks, and they have no special, and they have 3 defense, so they are not as hard to and they are easier to hit, but not as easy to hit, but at the same time they are just slow, and they are, I think they have more in the troop than the skeletons. Overall, we only used zombies once, I think, or twice, I don't know, right in the beginning. So yeah, you can put them on the same tier. I also see an argument for them being a bit weaker because they don't have the weapon, and I also think they don't have the upgrades like the skeleton warriors can have. So I would put them down in C. They are not bad. They are here if you want to fill out. So that's the guess for the role they have. They replenish quickly, so put them in, get them in as some kind of anvil or stopper, but they won't help you win a fight. They're just here to be the sacrificial lamb to the enemy. Then we get the skeleton spears, the one the necro starts with, and the second group of skeletons. And in my opinion, they are superior to the skeleton warriors. So these are the best anvil unit in my opinion. And the reason being is that instead of hand weapons and shields, we get the same stats, and we get a spear and shield. And the spear and shield doesn't give you the extra attack and doesn't give you the charge bonus, but what it does is it gives you the chance to attack from another extra row. So you get a whole row of spears rolling with you or on the attacks. So if you go with the example of a start of 15 spears or 15 warriors, then you have 15 warriors, and not all rows are gonna attack. That's 3 rows and 5s. So the first row and the second row, I think, attacks. And if you go with the spears, you get an extra rank supporting attacks. So you get, instead of 10 attacks, you get 15 attacks, for example. That's 5 more attacks, and that if you go in and really push them out from wide and get the more troops in, then you will get the better attacks here, and you get double the attack amount probably in the end. And that's why they are better, because you have a higher chance of hitting enemies, and when you hit more enemies, you don't lose rounds as often, and then if you don't lose rounds as often, you stay in the fight longer. And they are the ones these are the ones that were my anvil, and in the beginning they were coupled with my hex, my necromancer, and afterwards they were alone. They even could get a speed upgrade. I think the other ones can get 2, but these are, in my opinion, superior to the warrior. So I'd rather take a spear than a warrior because of the extra range of attack. Then we come to, well, what is the worst troop in my opinion on the bowman, on the skeleton crew, and that's their range attack, and that's the bowman. These things are weak. They've got a longbow, they've got none of the other weapons here, not the hand weapons, not the spear, just a longbow. And they attack, and their attack is weak. Really weak. So you won't hit as much with these. And if you even hit, and then the enemy can really easily block that. And then they are just like zombies, and well, you could say they could go as well with the zombies, but they're no stopper. The one defense could be a difference maker in how many of them can be there. You lose in a round, and then the zombies, I think they have a higher replenishment and a higher total troop number count. So if you want something to stop enemies, take zombies. I wouldn't take bowmen. I never took them. I took them once, I think, and I think you are already mentioned in some of the comments as well that I did use them just as melee troops. Yeah, and that's how I use them. So, oh, this one is wrong here. Let's put them here. These are that's why they're here. They are range attackers, but in my opinion, they're just stopgaps. And if you want to buff out your troops, take them. But I would rather take zombies over the bowmen. And then we come to the last melee group, and that's the White Guard. And the White Guard is the better troop to the skeleton warriors. So if you have a look, it's double the amount of skill, so you hit more. One more power, so you even hit harder. You get the defense as well here. You get the one attack and you get the one in the wounds. The problem, or not the problem, the thing with the White Guard is they also have hand weapon and shields, so you get the defense extra and you get the bonus power for charge. And they've got a heavy armor, so they're slower than the warriors, but they have so much more defense, like 3 to 5 if you take the hand weapons and shield into account. You've got 3 for the warriors and 5 for the White Guard, and that's going to be a difference maker in how long you're going to stay. The problem with them is you only start with, I think, a few less, so 15 on the warriors and I think 10 on the guards it is, and then the guards don't replenish as fast, so the warriors get something like 5 to 6 or 4 to 6 or more if you go replenishment up. And I think the White Guards only had like 2 or 3. So if you get losses here, you are stuck. And the worst part is the raise dead, if you're playing with the Necro, only works on the warriors or the spears and not these White Guard. They are not included in the res pool, and that means losses here really hurt, and you can't even buff them up in the way during fighting. So I would take them if you want them, but I would put them above the warriors, but not better than the warriors. And if you're playing Necro, yeah, if you're playing Necro, I would take the spears for sure instead of these, as you can play around with the special here with the rays. You get them as a retinue sometimes during the run to buy. So if you get them as retinue, they are an upgrade on the Skelly Warrior. So I could see an argument also to put them in 8 here, as they are way stronger than your Skeleton Warrior. Way stronger. But the replenishment keeps them a bit back, in my opinion. So if you pair them with maybe the Crumble Lord, and you are good. And if you pair it with the Necro, it's okay, but I would stay with the spears, or you can use the spears for better. So yeah, just from a pure stats perspective, I would say the White Guards are better than the Warriors, but the Warriors have the overall longitude. In one single fight, the White Guards definitely beat out the Warriors, but over the course of the run, I would say the Warriors keep up with their better replenishment. So in my opinion, I put them here because of their low regeneration and because of their missing inclusion in the race dead possibility. So it puts them above the warrior, but for me, just barely. Okay, which brings us to the thing, or the things that really help the undead win runs or plays. And in my opinion, that's against the AI, that's the cavalry. The monster units, the cavalry, that's the stuff that's gonna help you win. What we have here is the baseline, the anvil, and you need now a hammer, and the hammer is this troop. So the Skelly Knight, in my opinion, is okay. You've got not a lot of them, and they've got hand weapons and shields, so you definitely get your power on the first charge, and you get the extra attack. And you get the heavy armor, so a bit of extra defense to help you out. And if you're starting with the Vampire Knight, you get the Knight plus, with the Skeleton Knights in it, plus these Skelly Knights, and you've already got 2 Cav to run around and wreak havoc on the enemy. Replenishing wise, they are fine-ish, and the good thing about them is they don't break, they just crumble, and if you're lucky, they don't crumble hard. I would put them into... that's a good question where I would put them, as they are a bit sturdier than the skeletons. Not as sturdy as the White Guard, but their mobility helps them out a lot. And I think the regeneration between those two is close to the same. So I would say put them into B tier as well. They are fine as they are. They are standard, but they are nothing special. So they are neither really strong against anything nor are they really bad. That's where I would put them. Which means that the Dread Knight, the big ones, they I would put them right up here into S tier. They only regenerate one per round, but if you can get them up and if you can upgrade them, these guys are gonna be insanely strong. They will not fall. They will run around, kick the enemies, and I would say I love them. In the runs I had them, they really, really helped out with winning fights and keeping us in the game. I think one fight we only had them plus a few extras left, but they were still on close to full strength. So these guys gonna help you out. And you can see from the stats they are up on everything to the Skelly Knights with their heavy armor as well. And they are really, really great. Which leaves us with the stuff down here. So we've got the dire wolves and we've got the felbats. And stats wise, we trade a wound against the power. So the dire wolves hit harder. They also got the fangs, just like the bats, so they are equal on that. The bats have flying, so they are more mobile. The direwolf has the same range as the bats, but the bats can fly over everything, and the direwolves have to walk everywhere. So that's a difference in mobility, a slight difference. And the other difference is the number of units and the wounds. So the dire wolves, you have one wound, but a lot of wolves, and you can really upgrade them. In my last run, for example, I had wolves and they were up to I think 16, something like that. So really, really a lot, and you come in with a big group and they really rip enemies. The felbats, you've got less of them. You've got bigger units here with a double wounded system, and you don't replenish as quick. But you are flying, and you've got the same amount of attacks. And that's, I would say these two are really great in the beginning, or if you can upgrade them, you are really you can have them really strong at the end of a run. I underestimated the felbats the first time I used them. These guys, I thought they were weak, but well, they don't hit hard. It's not many units in one of these, so you don't get as many attacks, but you can upgrade the attacks by a lot, and I think also the units, so you can make them even beefier. And the direwolves, they can't upgrade their wounds, so you will always have one. So you have to be extra careful with the positioning and how you engage. These are the units you want to put into the back or into the side of an enemy. The felbats as well, but they can survive rounds on the side of an enemy. Never put if you can avoid it, never put these in front in a full frontal attack on anything. So rather use them as with pincer moves, one left, one right. And the good thing here is if you start with them, you get double the amount. So you get double direwolves and double felbats, and so two units of each. So I think you get 2 times 3 bats if you start with bats, and you get 2 times, I think it is 7 wolves. I think it's 6 wolves or 7 wolves. And if you start with them, if you buy them in the shop, then these are weaker, way weaker, and in my opinion not worth the money, because you only get one of them, and only getting one of them can probably help you, but it's not the be all end all. So from a standpoint of getting them in the beginning, I would put the direwolves here, and I love the direwolves more than the bats. The bats, in my opinion, they are okay, they are strong, and if you upgrade them, they are fine, I would say, but they are still not great. They just don't hit hard enough for me. So they can hold out long, but if they are alone, they will lose fights. And you have to remember, direwolves and fellbats don't crumble. They both can run, so they have a discipline of 7 and plus whatever range they have on their ranks, and that's it. So if you get hit here, you lose. The direwolves replenish quicker, in my opinion, so that makes them better. And the bats are a good choice, especially in the beginning, a good choice. And the wolves are better. So I would take wolves over bats. That's the one thing I would say. And if you buy them, don't buy them in a shop if you don't have to. So buy something else with the money, or do something else with the money instead of getting only one troop of this. That would put them down a rank each. So getting fellbats is situational if you buy them in the blacksmith shop, and getting direwolves is a B at best, maybe even a C if you get them in the blacksmith. In the beginning, strong, and if you can upgrade them from the beginning, perfect. And if you get them during a run in the blacksmith and you can upgrade them due to rank ups to your commanders, fine, maybe, but get them in the beginning. Otherwise, take something else in the shop. Which leaves us with 2 things. Oh, actually, there's something missing here. But yeah, let's go with the normal troops you can get. And the other one that you can have is a zombie giant. And you know I love the putrid stench. It has the putrid stench ability, so going into melee, these things force the enemy to reroll their successful melee attacks. That's very, very strong. Coupled with the 6 defense, this is really strong. 8 wounds is also, I think, more than some of the other giants have. But he doesn't hit hard. And I think one thing that holds this one back, I had one in the run, in the last one, and the one thing this struggles with is actually something that the other giants are better with, and that's their staying power. The don't break these giants. That's fine. But the other mountain giant, I think, has fearless, so he also won't break. And compared with other single target big units like the what is it, the tree of the ancient for the druids, for example, and they are stronger. Because they have fearlessness, they won't break regularly, and you won't hit them very hard like the dinosaur for the saurids. They, in my opinion, stronger than the putrid zombie giant. The putrid stench is nice, and it's an upgrade to the big rat monster of the rats. But yeah, overall, I think the crumble holds it back. Give it, I think. Can you even give it a banner? I don't think you can give it the anti-crumble banner. So you are stuck with something that if it loses, and it only has 4 attacks, and if it loses, it crumbles. And if it crumbles, you get 1 to 3 wounds on your 8 wounds. And that's not ideal, because you want these guys to stick around and stay as long as possible in one fight if they can't beat the enemy. And I think on a straight up fight, they probably just barely hold out or lose to any other big unit. So that makes them, for me, unfortunately, just situational and not worth the money. If you can take it in the beginning, or I would say take it in the beginning, you are fine with it. You're gonna get your money's worth out of it. Getting them during the run is not ideal. I mean, it's good, it's fine, but if you get something else, I would say something else is better. And I would rather take, to be honest, a Skelly Knight over the Zombie Giant. Or from the few plays I did, the Skelly Knights, I would take them over the Zombie Giant. It's debatable if really the bats are better, but upgraded bats with a lot of attacks and a lot of wounds have more staying power, in my opinion, or are survivable to the Zombie Giant, but the Zombie Giant, of course, just crumbles. So I think it's unfair to put him into the Zombie. Let's put him right here next to the bats. So these two are fine, I would say, but the zombie giant just doesn't cut it for me. I would rather take one of these up here, as they are harder hitting, or even a good anvil troop or all-around troop, and I would always take the knights over the giant if I get the chance in the beginning. And even in a buy-in, if I can buy in the blacksmith shop, I would rather take the knights in the blacksmith shop, or even the lower skelly knights. The rest is debatable and probably up to the point where you are in the game, and yeah. Okay, and that brings us to the last official unit here, and that's the unearthed catapult. And this is your single and only engineering range unit you can get normally in the playthrough. And that this thing has well, staying power. It is also reanimated. It gets the protected crew, so you're also getting the banner of mist in it. And I say I would put it into B tier as well. Z tier, like, it's, I put it in C tier. Let's put it that way. You can start with it, but I would rather take something else, and I would buy this one. This is for me a situational shop buy to help you out if you need something to take down enemies, but they will not stay in a normal fight, and they are just here to shoot at the enemy and take out some stuff. They don't have lethal like a cannon, of course, so they are good for taking down enemy troops. And one of those, together with a cannon from some dwarves I got in the last run, they both did their job well. And I would say they are situational, and they are fine, and you can take them in the shop. I wouldn't take them in the beginning. If you get anything from the other stuff, take the other stuff instead of a catapult. That's my opinion, at least. I think the undead crew is a crew that's really up to your own opinion of how you want to play the game, how you are playing the game, and if you really like something or not. This is my opinion, of course. You can tell me what you think about it, for sure. I mean, you can have your own opinion. It's totally fine, and I can see arguments for shifting things around here. I don't want to put every single undead one into the middle, and I even would debate or if the undead really have an S tier, to be honest. So S tier in comparison to some of that stuff here, yes, but maybe at one point I will do a whole overview of every unit I've played with, and once we get there, or if we do that, the undead will not be judged, rated favorably. Let's say it that way. So I see a debate even for pushing everything a bit down and pushing some of these into C tier support, putting these into B tier and these two into A tier, or just keep the Hex in A tier with her Necro, or the Necro in the A tier, S tier maybe. But compared to the others, this is S tier, I would say. The rest rather debatable. So it's up to you if you like direwolves. I believe some of you would rather take the guards instead of the spears. Quite sure about it. So that's really up to you. But yeah, this is my opinion on the undead roster. And one thing we don't have here is the dragon, or the undead dragon, as a mount for the unit. I haven't played with it because I never had it once I unlocked it, or I only saw it once, I think, as an opportunity, and that was during the only left challenge run where I couldn't take it. And yeah, dragons as a mount, of course. A hex or a caster on a mount is insane, or one of the main units on a dragon mount is insane, and I love a dragon mount. And I had another kind of dragon mount in my last run, and if the undead one is close to the same, I would have put it somewhere in A tier. It's a strong single target unit, and with its breath and stuff. So yeah. Overall, this is my opinion on the undead tier list. Well, not short, but quicker than some of the others, as there are not a whole lot of units here. And again, for me, the ranged units down in the bottom, and some knights up in the bottom, up in the top. And yeah, overall, I would judge or would rate the undead as rather average to poor on its power rating compared to some of the other crews. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I hopefully see you next time. Bye bye.